Hello, this is Mark Smith with Family Tree Counseling Associates. I'm going to talk about a very painful subject today. I'm going to talk about fear. I think that abandonment issues are probably the most painful emotion known to mankind, but fear and anxiety has got to be a close second. I just have so many people who suffer so severely from fear and anxiety. So I did a little writing last week in a writing group about fear, and it was the subject of my blog last week as well. Fear is an ever-present, heart-thumping, ominous, dark cloud of jittery, paralyzing anxiety. Fear can make your voice shake. It can make your hands shake. It can make your whole body shake. Fear knows for a fact that the worst thing is going to happen. The other shoe always drops, and it drops hard, and it drops right on your head. Fear can't rest, it can't sleep, it can't trust, it can't play. Ambien doesn't put fear to sleep. Fear is going to put you in an early grave. It'll wear out your heart, it'll wear out your brain, it'll wear out your nervous system. Fear nibbles at the corners of your mind in the darkness of night like a big fat rat. Fear is not your friend. Fear is your enemy. Fear is a rat. Fear is almost always just horribly irrational. Fear causes you to burn perfectly good bridges with perfectly good people that didn't have to be burned. Fear contributes to self-destruction. Fear will haunt you in your dreams. There is no peace even in your sleep. Fear is your worst nightmare. There is no escaping your fears. They seem bound and glued to your very spirit. You must fear, of all things most, fear itself. You must fear most, fear itself. Some famous political, Teddy Roosevelt, who was that? I'm not sure who that was originally. I know that was that Churchill, maybe? Fear is a very serious, very destructive issue. In our practice, we talk about plus. Let me explain that. Think of 4 little circles, and each circle has 2 digits, either a plus or a minus, and it has 2 of them in each circle. The first digit has to do with loving yourself. It's self-esteem and self-love, and so a plus is I'm digging myself, not in an egotistical or narcissistic way, but in a healthy way. And then the other plus is about the world in general and about your significant other in particular. So a plus would be, hey, the world is truly a good place. Every once in a while, somebody will run the Boston Marathon and there'll be an explosion and their legs will be blown off and it'll be horrible. We don't live in a perfect world. There are airplanes that drive into trade towers on 9/11. People get cancer. People die. But overall, in spite of tragedy, in spite of illness, in spite of terrorism, the world is a good place. And my spouse, my partner, who has a whole fistful of issues to be sure, they are okay too. They're a good egg. So I guess what I would say to fear, so a plus plus would be somebody who trusts, who has faith, who can conquer in their world. But somebody who's a plus minus is, I don't trust anybody. Some people are out to screw you. You can't trust them. They're gonna hurt you. They're gonna damage you. You better watch it, because the world is not a good place. It's not a safe place, and there's just a complete inability to trust. Minus plus is, I'm a worm. I'm a terrible person. I'm a codependent. I'm the problem. And then minus is hopelessness. I hate myself. The world is not a good place. It's not a safe place. And my spouse is a stinker. So that is a problem, to have a minus in any of those areas, because you either have shame or you have areas of fear and lack of trust. One of the basic developmental tasks is called basic trust versus basic mistrust. I believe it's Erickson who discusses this in his theories. So basic trust is, you cry and mama shows up and changes your diety drawers and gets you some milk and coos and loves on you, and you learn, hey, when bad stuff happens, good stuff is soon to follow, and the world is good, and I'm going to be taken care of. But if mama doesn't show up, if mama died, or if mama's an alcoholic or a cocaine addict, or if dad's an alcoholic and dad beats you and you're poor and you don't get enough to eat and you get ignored, you learned, you know what, the world is not safe. If I don't take care of me, nobody's going to take care of me. So if you have a basic mistrust of the universe, you are going to struggle in friendship, you're going to struggle in love, you're going to struggle in money, you're going to struggle in career, you're going to struggle in faith. A lot of my clients, I'm trying to teach them to believe in themselves, and to believe in their voice, and to believe in the universe, that the universe is a good place. One of the 5 really requirements of making progress in therapy is basic trust, because you have to trust a therapist. A lot of people are so trust damaged that they cannot trust anybody. When you read a book, you're trusting the author. When you come to group therapy, you're trusting the leader, but you're also trusting the members of the group. So trust, as well as being highly motivated to work on oneself, being teachable, moldable, open to learn, in enough pain, but not victimy pain, not overwhelming pain, and willing to do the hard work, the homework. These are qualities of somebody who's going to make great progress in therapy. If you're going to fall in love, you're going to need a little bit of trust. And most people fall in love too quick and too blind, and they have too much faith. When I get a single person in midlife, I say, are you terrified? And they say, well, no, I'm not terrified, Mark. I said, oh my goodness, you should be. Because, you know, your daddy was an alcoholic and your mama ran off, and you're going to pick somebody who loves you about the same you did the first time, and you're sure going to do it the second time. So if you're not terrified, you're not paying attention. So, but nonetheless, I can't recommend going through life alone, in spite of the fact that Mother Nature's chosen our love life to be the source of our growth and our emotional challenges and healing. I recommend you getting in a relationship and slowly, wisely, with your eyes wide open, falling into love without the over-idealization and the enmeshment. If you're going to start a business, you're going to have faith in the universe. If you're going to invest in the stock market, you're going to have faith in the universe. If you're going to have a child, you're going to have a lot of faith in the universe. You can't walk around that child like a bubble or a helicopter parent their whole life. You got to send them off to school on a bus. You know, you got to let go. So faith is the opposite, and trust is the opposite of lack of trust and fear. Faith will help you fulfill your dreams. Faith will help you have big dreams. Faith will help you feel safe and be powerful because you're stacking up fulfilled dream upon fulfilled dream upon fulfilled dream. That's good stuff, folks. But fear will keep you frozen, and it'll keep you in the same crappy job with the same crappy relationship and the same crappy home. Aspire for more. The world is an abundant place. There's lots and lots of resources. You just have to know a way to reach out and snatch them for yourself. I feel so blessed to be in America and to have this practice and to have this ability to communicate with people over YouTube and over our powerful website. It's an exciting time to live. And sometimes there are struggles in life. I was ill last year. I had 3 surgeries in about a 9-month time period. But I'm healthy now, and I just feel blessed that there are people buying my books from all over the world. I sold 8 books the other day. I was pretty thrilled with that. So I wish I could give you some of my faith. I wish I could give you some of my optimism. I wish I could give you some of my sense that you can grab hold of your problems in life and make them better. Now, the process of doing that in your relationship is different than doing it in your work life. In your work life, it's about having confidence and moving forward and believing what you can do. In your love life, it's more about listening. And I had a couple in the other day, and they were fussy with one another, and there are a couple that the jury's still out. They should make it, but they still may not, because they're both ouchy from their childhoods, and something will come up, and one spouse will say something that'll bring up a wound from the past, and they don't know what's going on, and they come in, and I say, hey dude, that's from your past. That's from your childhood. Don't blow it up into something huger than what it is. Let's just leave it in know that it comes from the past and cry that wound out, but not turn it into World War III for this relationship. So fear is crippling. Fear is limiting. Fear doesn't realize how wonderful you are. Fear doesn't realize how smart you are. So much of what happens in fear, you worry about this, you worry about that, and then it never happens. You're wasting a lot of energy on worry. If something bad's going to happen, you'll be notified. You don't have to worry about it. It'll come to you. So I pray for you that you might find faith, whether it's faith in God or faith in yourself or faith in therapy or faith in your religion or faith in your partner. I don't care what it is, but have faith in a lot of things, because you'll be blessed and you'll be able to achieve things and reach your potential. And I want you to reach your potential, and I want you to be blessed and happy. So overcome fear with faith and basic trust in the universe. Plus. Seize the day, my friends. If you haven't joined our website, join Family Tree on YouTube and visit our website, familytreecounseling.com. Jerry Wise, my buddy, my partner, was saying, let's encourage people to pass us on. If you like our videos, post them on your Facebook account for your friends and put them on Twitter. I'm not a Twitter guy. I've got my hands full with all the other stuff. But send it out on Twitter or, whatever form of media that you're involved in. There's so many of them these days, social media. But put us out there and get our message out if you're feeling blessed by it. So I encourage you to have faith. And for me, I do believe in God, and I pray, and I always believe God has a plan. And even when bad things are happening, I believe there's a plan. And it just keeps me optimistic. And it's not an optimism that's based on fluff or pie in the sky. I think it's based on how life really is, and it really is a good life. And even when bad things happen, almost always, people, they're self-inflicted. In my case, usually most of the bad things have happened, I've done them to myself. And then you turn around and supposed to get bitter at the world and miss an opportunity to learn about yourself? No. If something bad happens, trace it back. It's probably you. Learn from it. It'll make you better. It'll make you happier. So God bless. Thank you for watching the video today.